Good morning, students. Today I am going to talk about the cephalosporins. I am myself Dr. Ghulam Muhammad Lone, Associate Professor, Dr. RKGMCH, Hamirpur. It is a lecture which will comprise of definitions, history, a little bit chemistry, properties, classification of its generation, pharmacokinetics, mechanism of action, indication, contraindication, therapeutic use, adverse effects, resistance, comparison with penicillins, and then market preparation a bit. Now, definition. Any group of widely used broad spectrum antibiotics originally isolated as a product of fermentation from the fungus Cephalosporium acremonium are called cephalosporins. So its origin is from fungus, that's why we call it Cephalosporium acremonium. Now the cephalosporins are isolated from the Cephalosporium species prepared semi-synthetically. The first chemical compound of the cephalosporin group were isolated from the Cephalosporium acremonium as cephalosporin producing fungus first discovered by Giuseppe Brozzo in 1948. He was a scientist who was there from Italy from 1895 and 1976 he expired. Now the chemistry of the cephalosporin, as you know, it has a bicyclic system containing four-membered beta-lactam ring, just like which you have already read in penicillin, fused to a six-membered dihydrothiazine ring system. Nucleus of the most cephalosporin is 7-amino cephalosuperonic acid, or we can call it as 7-ACA. And the possible modification of the cycle is at 7-acylamine side chain, 3-acetyl methyl side chain, substitution at 7. So this is the ring, you will go through it, and this is the ring, and the beta-lactam ring is this, and this is the dihydropyridine ring, and this is the cycle, this 7-amino cephalosporonic acid, 7-ACA. So properties of cephalosporins, as you know, is a broad spectrum activity. They are water soluble. The molecular weight of cephalosporins is 400 to 450 and relatively stable on pH and temperature changes. Nucleus of cephalosporin is 7-amino cephalosuperonic acid, 7-ACA, and their activity is not reduced by serum. So nucleus consists of the two rings. One is dihydrothiazine ring, and it is fused with the beta-lactam ring. Ranges from very narrow spectrum to very broad spectrum. 7-amino cephalosporinic acid, 7-ASA, has been modified by addition of different side chains to create a whole family of cephalosporin antibiotics. Classification according to generation cephalosporins, because it depends upon so many factors why it is, in generations. First generation, we have second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation, also there is a sixth generation. Now the first generation we have parenteral drugs as well as oral drugs. Parenteral drug is cefazolin, cefalothin, cefapyrin, cefaredine. Oral is cefalexine, cephradine, cefadroxil. So you have to remember these, first or second or third or fourth or fifth generation drugs. And then they exhibit good activity against gram-positive bacteria, most gram-positive cocci, streptococcal and pneumococcal. Modest activity against E. coli, Klebsiella pneumoniae and Proteus mirabilis. This is the most, these bacteria are sensitive with this drug. Example of cefazolin is the, prototype I am just describing, and other you have to describe yourself, and that you will really you should go through it. The prototype of first generation is cefazolin. It is active against the PNG sensitive organisms like the streptococci, gonococci, meningococci, C. diphtheria, H. influenza, Clostridia, and actinomyces. Active against the Klebsiella, Moraxilla, Catarrhales, and E. coli is relatively high, but it is susceptible to staphylococcal beta lactamase. Route is intramuscular, but painful as well as IV also it is given, and has a longer half-life of 2 hours due to slower tubular secretion. It attains higher plasma concentration and in bile. Preferred parenteral route for surgical prophylaxis. Dose is 0.5 gram 8 hourly mild cases, 1 gram 6 hourly severe cases. Children 25 to 50 milligram per kg per day intramuscular or IV surgical prophylaxis, 1 gram 1 hour before surgery. So it can be given in the prophylaxis in surgical procedures. Now second generation we have parenteral drugs, cefamendol, cefonicid, cefoxidin, cefuroxime. Oral we have cefacalar, cefuroxime acetyl. Now they exhibit somewhat increased activity against gram-negative organisms as compared to the first generation, but much less active than third generation agents. So that's why it is more active. It is less active than first, but it is less active than third, but more active than first. That's why it is in generations. And less active against gram-positive cocci and bacilli compared to first generation drugs. Now second generation example I have given here, cefuroxime. It is resistant to gram-negative beta lactamase and high activity against organisms producing these enzymes, including PPNG, that's called penicillinase producing Neisseria gonorrhea, and ampicillin resistant H. influenza, while retaining significant activity on gram-positive cocci. And certain anaerobes, but not B. fragilis. Cefuroxime can be injected intramuscularly and attain higher CSF level. So you have to see if the cefuroxime is injected, it goes to CSF also. So that's why we use it for the meningitis, but has been superseded by third generation cephalosporin in the treatment of meningitis. But if we compare with the third generation are more, active, given in the meningitis than the second generation cefuroxime. It can be employed for single dose intramuscular, thereby therapy for gonorrhea due to PPNG. I told you PPNG penicillinase producing Neisseria gonorrhea. Dose is 0.75 to 1.5 gram intramuscular or IV 8 hourly. Children 30 to 100 milligram per kg per day. For gonorrhea 1.5 gram divided at 2 sites intramuscular injections plus probenecid 1 gram. So you can give 2 sites because it is not that much. It is, we have to give the maximum 5 ml. So it comes more than 5 ml. That's why we have to give this injection at 2 sites. So the volume should be taken into consideration while giving the drug intramuscularly. Now third generation we have parenteral cefotaxime, ceftriaxone, ceftazidime, cefoperazone. These are the parenterals, and the oral is cefixime, cefotaxime, cefidinar, cefodoxime-proxetin. So this is the third generation. Now they are highly augmented activity against gram-negative. So the third generation are more given in the, I would say, gram negative. All are highly resistant to beta lactamase from gram negative bacteria. So they are resistant. Some members of this group have enhanced ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, that is ceftriaxone. Ceftriaxone is mostly given in endocarditis, so it is given in the, I mean, say, meningitis, so more in the bone, bone tissues and tissue, it has got a good penetration, that's why ceftriaxone is given. The third generation example I have given not ceftriaxone but I have given prototype cefotoxime. Cefotoxime is a prototype potent on aerobe gram negative as well as gram positive bacteria, but not on anaerobes, particularly B. fragilis, Staph aureus, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Indicated in meningitis caused by gram negative bacilli. When there is a meningitis, there is a gram negative, we have to give this third generation. And it attains high CSF level. So in the blood it is, but from blood it should go to the CSF. CSF level is very important for the meningitis. So it is indicated in the life-threatening resistant hospital acquired infections, septicemia, and infections in immunocompromised patients. Alternative to ceftriaxone for typhoid fever and can be utilized for single dose therapy for PPNG, urethritis, but not dependable for Pseudomonas infections. Metabolized, and its metabolite is synergistic. So it is active metabolite and this metabolite, they are having the synergistic effect. Half-life is 1 hour, due to metabolite it is 12 hours dose. So as you have seen in penicillins, we give single dose or double dose, but we need bactericidal effect. That's why all the penicillins and the, these cephalosporins, they are bactericidal. So dose is 1 to 2 gram intramuscular IV 6 to 12 hours. Children 50 to 100 milligrams per kg per day. Always in neonates and children, you should give the dose as per the body weight. But adult dose is 1 to 2 grams. Now, fourth generation parenteral drugs, and we have cefepime, cefepirone, cefazopram. Now, highly active against gram negative organisms and effective against bacterial infections resistant to earlier drugs. The fifth generation, fourth generation, fifth generation, I will describe both. Fifth generation, ceftobiprole. These are the newer generation. Ceftaroline. They are active against the gram-positive cocci, especially MRSA, methicillin resistant Staph aureus, penicillin resistant S. pneumoniae, and enterococci. Fifth generation is, it is again, we can give it in the MRSA, we can give it as pneumonia, and we can give it enterococci. And the example of fourth generation which I have left there is cefepime. Cefepime is developed in 1990. Spectrum like that of the third generation, compounds highly resistant to beta lactamase, active against Pseudomonas aeruginosa, streptococcal pneumonia, H. influenza, and Staph aureus are also inhibited but not MRSA. Due to high potency and extended spectrum, it is effective in many, serious infections like hospital-acquired pneumonia, febrile neutropenia, bacteremia, septicemia. Higher concentrations are attained in the CSF, so we can give in the meningitis. Excreted by kidney, half-life is 2 hours. Dose is 1 to 2 gram IV 8 to 12 hours. Children, it is with febrile neutropenia 50 milligram per kg IV 8 hourly. Now this is the pharmacokinetics. Route of administration: oral parenteral, distribution body fluid, joint fluid, pleural fluid, CNS. Elimination is unchanged in urine, renal tubules. Plasma half-life is 1 to 4 hours mostly. Mechanism of action, I have not mentioned it. I have mentioned in the first generation, second generation, third generation. The peptidoglycan layer is important for cell wall structure integrity of the bacteria. And once the penicillin or the cephalosporins, they are bound to peptidoglycan. The final step synthesis of the peptidoglycan is transpeptidation. So there are the translinked, these glycans are overlapped, they are transversely and longitudinally, interwoven, is facilitated by transpeptidase. And this, where it is bound, is called the PBP, penicillin binding proteins. And these penicillin binding proteins are altered in case of the resistant, penicillin, this bacteria. Cephalosporins competitively inhibit PBP, that is penicillin binding proteins, as it mimics the structure of the D-alanine link to which PBP bind for cross linkage of the peptidoglycan. So this is the peptidoglycan, which is a cell wall. It is bound to PBP, so it inhibits this glycol. So naturally, when the cytoplasm inside, it swells and it comes out. So there is a bactericidal effect. As it is disrupting the cross linkage process, the cell wall will lose its strength, which results in the cell lysis. This cell lysis is called as the bactericidal effect. Now, fifth generation I have left there. Example is this ceftaroline fosamil. This is the newer one, and these which I have enumerated here: first generation, second generation, third generation, fifth generation. One prototype drug. You can read it in the Tripathi. I have also gone through the Tripathi. That's why I have written from Tripathi. Recently developed for MRSA for altered PBP. So where there is a resistance in PBP, or we can give this drug, fifth generation. Used in nosocomial resistant infection. So the hospital acquired infection, we can prescribe this drug. So it is a prodrug. It is bactericidal to many gram positive and gram negative, including MRSA, penicillin resistant streptococcal pneumoniae, enterococcal faecalis, etc. High affinity to, there are subtypes of the PBP2A in MRSA. In MRSA, this variant of PBP2A is there, it acts on that. In PBP2B and PBP2X, in penicillin resistant streptococcal pneumoniae. So we can give pneumonia where there are these isotypes of these, PBP2X and PBP2B isotypes. So approved by the CDSCO, which is from Government of India, it has been approved in 2016 for complicated skin and soft infections as well. For community acquired infections, that we call as CAP, that is community acquired pneumonia, particularly caused by the MRSA resistant streptococcal pneumonia, etc. So we can give this drug. This is the newer one, ceftaroline. This is the fifth generation cephalosporin. Eliminated by kidney with half-life, it is 2.6 hours. ADR is headache, dizziness, itching, rashes, fever, diarrhea, irritation of the injected vein. Dose is 600 milligrams, infused IV over 60 minutes every 12 hours for 5 to 14 days. So we can give 12 hours, this means 24 hours 2 times, and 5 to 14 days is the duration. Dose adjusted when clearance is deranged. So in the elderly also we can adjust the dose as per the creatinine. So this is what is I have given. This is the beta-lactam drugs interfere with the formation of the peptide side chain between adjacent strands of the peptidoglycan by inhibiting penicillin binding proteins PBP. So this is the PBP where it affects, and this is the peptidoglycan. Cytoplasmic membrane is there, and bacitracin. This is the newer molecules we have to both in the vancomycin and NAG and NAM. These alternate colored NAG and NAM. So this is the the thickness of the gram negative is more than the gram positive, but there are porins different in the gram negative. That you will come to know in the book. Now this is the mechanism of action beta-lactam. This is the ABX free cell wall synthesis, and this is the PBP. This is the binding here, NAG, NAM, NAG, NAM, NAG, NAM alternation. This is a transpeptidation, and this is the beta-lactam binding is here, and there is the binding site. This enzyme is being inhibited, so there is the cytoplasmic pressure inside. Then everything comes out. This is a blocking of the transpeptidase activity, interrupts cross-linking and cell wall synthesis. So this is NAG, NAM, NAG, NAM, NAG, NAM. This is the peptidoglycan. So beta-lactam action of both penicillins as well as cephalosporins. Now this is the chart, mechanism chart. First of all, this is the cephalosporin. It acts as the transpeptidase enzyme. It inhibits the transpeptidation reaction. It blocks the peptide glycine synthesis. Activation of the autolytic enzyme is there. I mean, increase in permeability of the cell membrane is there, and cell explodes and lyses. Death of the microorganism. These are the cascades of the reactions which take place on this peptidoglycan. Now this where we can use, where is the indication for the, what is the indication for this drug cephalosporin? It is UTI, infection of the gut we can give, respiratory tract infection, boils, abscesses, prophylaxis in surgery, biliary sepsis, person allergic to penicillin. So sometimes some persons are allergic to penicillin as well as cephalosporin. So we have to go for that test dose. Now also we can give it for meningitis, we can give it gonorrhea, infected burns, septicemia, aspirin pneumonia, mixed infection, tonsillitis. These are the indications where we can cephalosporins give. And the contraindication where we should not give. These drugs are contraindicated in patients with known hypersensitivity to cephalosporins and penicillin. So the test dose is very important. And also we should not give in the renal failure because they are mostly, excreted unchanged. Some are, metabolized. And hepatic impairment we cannot give. In the rheumatic fever it is contraindicated. Lactating patient and anaerobic infections it is contraindicated. Pregnancy and breastfeeding it is contraindicated. Now therapeutic use is extensively used and therapeutically important antibiotics, effective therapeutic and prophylactic agents. Now adverse drug reactions also allergic reaction, anaphylaxis. So we have to be ready. Sometimes there is a cross reaction or there is the anaphylaxis. IgE is liberated. We have to be ready the drugs for that, or adrenaline or steroids we have to give. Serum sickness, urticaria, second rash, hemolytic anemia. It is these allergic reactions in stages. GIT upset is also nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Also nephrotoxicity, interstitial nephritis, renal tubular necrosis. So also there is a disulfiram like reaction, particularly when we give anti-abuse after that alcohol, there is a disulfiram reaction take place. And same is the case with these cephalosporins. They have this disulfiram like reactions. And we have local irritation after intramuscular injection. So it is locally they are irritated. And thrombophlebitis after repeated intravenous. So there is a thrombophlebitis. So bleeding tendency also is there. Esophagia and thrombocytosis is there. Direct defect of newborn babies, that is why it is there. And pharyngitis, throat infection, it is this is should not be given. And stillbirths or miscarriage is there. And also resistance is there. Impermeability to the antibiotic to reach the site of action. So that's why PBP, alteration PBP, there are so many isotopes PBP, and when the drug is entering inside, it does not adhere to the PBP, so it is inactivity. This is the resistance. Antibiotics bind with low affinity. If it binds, it does not bound with the, good binding is not there. So elaboration of beta lactamase is because of that this enzyme is there, and that's why the drug should act on the but the enzyme is there because enzyme is produced by the bacteria beta lactamase, and it I mean say that beta lactam ring is being deteriorated, so that's why we call it the beta lactamase. That is the MRSA, methicillin resistant staph aureus. That's the beta lactamase. I mean say those that can hydrolyze the beta lactam ring and indicate the cephalosporium most prevalent mechanism. So this is the most prevalent mechanism which makes it ineffective. Resistance is there. Now comparison with penicillins, their similarities both obtained from the fungus. Yes, structural similarity is there, and mechanism of action is cell wall inhibitor both, but dissimilarity is resistance to beta lactamase. Antibiotic spectrum is more in case of the cephalosporin, then, and there is a precursor. There is a prodrug also in case of the and cephalosporins. Now, why cephalosporin is used? Broad spectrum of activity. You should remember it. Stability to beta lactamase. We can give in beta lactamase. I mean, oral and parenteral preparation is there in case of the cephalosporins. It is widely accepted. Treat day to day as well as serious infections. So we have to have the nosocomial infection. We can use cephalosporins, and we have to, give the new knowledge to the, we have to go for the culture where they are just needed. That's why spurious use of the antibiotics is not good. Highly safety profile. It is in cephalosporins. Now, extremely widely used, safe. Side effects specific to individual members of the family, depending upon its hypersensitivity, as is the family as a whole, not necessarily cross reaction with penicillin hyper. Sometimes it is not cross reaction. Penicillin in some, there is a penicillin reaction, but in